So what is going on, guys? This is Ninja Movies, and today I'm going to be banging out a couple of movie reviews. It's been about 2 weeks since I've done a video, so I thought I'd pump out a few of the movies that I've seen recently, and I hope you guys can check all the videos out. Anything that interests you, let me know what you think of the films down below. And we're going to start off with a lesser known movie, and that is the film Nitram, or Nitram, or I don't even know how to pronounce it, but obviously it's there in the title. This is actually about the Port Arthur slayings that happened back in the late 90s, I believe, with the killer Martin Bryant, who killed 35 people in Tasmania at Port Arthur. And the reason I actually found this movie was it's one of Australia's most prolific serial killer cases, but there has never been a documentary, as long as I know. I don't believe he's ever been interviewed, so I don't even... It was a big shock in the film to know that he was mentally disabled, or at least appeared to be in the movie. I think the mother did come out later and say that he's recently been diagnosed with autism, but in the film it seems like so much more than that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that the film is directed by a man named Justin Kurzel. Once again, I'm horrible with names. His biggest film was the Assassin's Creed movie, but he also did the Snowtown Murders and the True History of the Kelly Gang. So he's a big, big fan of Australian true crime, I guess, and that's why he sort of does these films. And the main character is actually named Nitram or Nitram. He's not named Martin Bryant. Whether there's a reason behind that, I don't know, but more or less it is a story about Martin Bryant's life leading up to the event. And due to the fact that obviously it is a true story, you can see him pull the guns out at the end, and it comes up with statements what happened, but obviously they're not going to show real slayings because that's just crazy. The main actor who actually plays Martin Bryant is an American actor, which I was surprised by, Caleb Landry. He did a good job, and the one thing I was obviously going to be looking into this film for was if he sounds Australian. I actually did see that I believe this movie was getting filmed at the peak of COVID, and he got his Australian accent from watching reruns of Hey Hey It's Saturday, an old Australian comedy sketch show. So that was just an interesting little fact. I thought the movie overall was pretty damn decent. It's, you know, beautifully directed. It's a slow burn, and it's just really a character development film. I'm not going to say you sympathise with him, because how are you going to sympathise with Martin Bryant? But it does sort of show like what his life was like, how he was mistreated by family, the hardships he had with his dad committing suicide. And once again, I'm just talking about the film right now. The whole reason I watched it, as I said, is because there's not a documentary out there that I have watched. I'm sure there's podcasts, I should look more into it. It's an interesting and crazy scenario that happened. It did come with a benefit of getting Australia completely gun-free after this event. So it's a big, big part of Australian history, and I don't think it's really had an adaptation other than this film. But once again, I'm talking about the film and not him himself. So, you know, did his father really commit suicide? I don't know. Is he really this severely disabled? I don't know. If you guys know more about him, let me know down below how true this film is to the actual story. But the acting, you know, it was pretty damn good. Like a lot of serial killers, the mother is, I'm not going to say the problem, but has a lot of push in this young person's life. And watching the 60-minute interview that she did a couple of years ago, and she's proclaiming his innocence now in a book that she wrote, and said that he was never there was no proof, just delusional. And you know, some people don't want to accept something so hard to swallow like that. So the mother in the movie is pretty insufferable. She's not really my favourite character, but to be fair, neither is the main character. Like I said, you will feel sympathy for him, but you know, he's quick to anger. He's not somebody that you would be supporting. It's kind of a weird movie, and I don't want to touch too much on the real life events other than, you know, it's a huge tragedy, and this man is deservedly serving his rest of his life in prison. I think he got 39 consecutive life sentences or something crazy like that. But I did just want to bring some attention to the movie because I hadn't heard of it, and due to the odd name of Nitram or Nitram, maybe you haven't either. So if you're interested in this story, I would recommend it as a a one-off watch. It's an interesting film, and I thought it was a decently done performance by an American actor for an Australian. And yeah, with that said, I just thought it was an interesting movie. It was definitely worth talking about. I am into the true crime sort of scene, so if you are too, check it out, give it a watch, and let me know what you think of it down below.